So,
And we're live. Well, no live, but I'm recording.
it's live enough.
Live enough. That'll do, yeah. Aye, so. Oh, where's my list? I went and had a brain fart. Right, good. Names, intros. I'm Haggard, obviously. You are?
I am John Malarkey. People have called me Kratos recently. So.
Boy.
Hey,
boy.
Indeed.
Oh, that was brilliant, man.
Oh, that was an interesting time.
Oh,
Red marker pens have never seen the same.
That's just unreal. People getting their nuts signed, man.
I know.
That's
I think I got my arse
signed.
signed twice. Yeah.
Did you not sign me?
I might have.
I
think I was about 6 pictures deep at that point, so I don't quite remember all of it.
That's 6 pictures, my arse.
And the rest.
And the rest. So where are you from?
I do remember. I am from a little place called Middlesbrough on Teesside, in the northeast of England.
Little place.
Yeah. It's not yet a city.
Oh, hang on. All right. Everything all right?
You mean that?
No, I'm recording.
Right.
Sweet, isn't it?
So.
Yeah, man.
You're from Middlesbrough.
Yes. Smoggy.
Smoggy?
Yeah. Comes from when obviously Middlesbrough had all the shipyards and steel industries and stuff like that. Obviously the air was quite full of smog, so the nickname Smoggies kind of come around. So.
Fair enough. Is that why you get called God of War? you look like him. No hair. No, you've got hair.
Just a little bit at the minute. No, I've recently found that at work. Obviously Kratos' his skin's covered in the ash of his family and stuff like that. But when I'm on pizza section, I'm covered in pizza flour, and it takes on the same quite ashen white colour. So I'm like constantly scraping the thing off. I'm just glad no one at Preach can see me after I've been on pizza section.
I can imagine. I can just imagine, man. That's brilliant. See, whenever I'm making scones, oh my God, I'll get some mess. I'm a mess. The flare's a mess. The walls are a mess. The roof's a mess.
It gets everywhere. It really does.
Aye.
I mean, like, oh yes. Quite often find like sort of the next day, even after I've been in the shower, I'm sort of my skin and like flowers coming out of it. It's nuts.
Your body's absorbed all the flare.
Yeah.
What about what time do you get up in the morning? How long before work do you get up?
I tend to have a pretty bad morning routine, to be honest. I'll set my alarm for roughly around about 8:20, 8:30. I don't need to be in work until 10 o'clock. But what I end up doing is snoozing my alarm until about 9:15.
Wow.
Just snooze it, yeah. It's not too bad though, because I'm only like sort of 15 minutes drive away from work. So
it's not too bad.
By the point that I've done it, all the kids have gone off to school, so my road's pretty clear. And like I say, I'm jumping in the shower, sort myself out, and I'll set off probably about 20 minutes before I'm supposed to be in work. So I get there pretty much on time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine is a wee bit different to that. I'll get up about 50, set my alarm for 6:30. I'm up, shit, wank, fucking whatever I want to do. Computer's on, breakfast made, sat in front of my computer at 6:45.
Right.
And then that's me till about 20 past, 30, and then I'll leave for work, start at 8.
That's sweet, man.
I get to work wide awake, and the energy that you seen out of me,
yeah,
that's what I'm like at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Bloody
so
hell.
By 1 minute past 8 in the morning, I'm driving everyone nuts. That's brilliant. And the thing is, I love doing it.
Yeah.
It's tormenting the fuck out of them. It's great.
Oh, it's, I'm pretty much the same. Like, so once I'm at work and that, I'm fine. I'll have get a couple of monsters down me from the co-op over there.
A couple of monsters.
Oh yeah.
Like
you need
at once.
Yeah. No, pretty much one after the other. Like straight down, and then a pot of tea. It's the only way I get through the day. To be honest with you, it's so hot and like sort of thing in the kitchen that you need the energy. It's
Aye.
just
I know what you mean.
insane.
Aye, when
Um,
I know what you mean with the heat.
yeah, it's crazy, especially standing in front of a pizza oven. Got two like sort of ovens. One of them's kicking out at 200 degrees. The other one's kicking out at 300 degrees. It's like, as soon as you open it, yeah, man. As soon as you open the door, like sort of look in the pizza oven, man, your eyeballs instantly dry out. It's insane.
With goggles.
Imagine. Ugh, couldn't see a thing. Like I'm supposed to wear my glasses and that, but when I know I'm on pizzas, I don't because I'll end up with flour on them and I can't see out them, which is a bit of a nightmare. But no,
So what do you do then? What do you do for a living?
I'm a chef at the minute.
You're a chef.
So I'm working in an Italian restaurant called Al Forno's, and I mean originally like sort of, I've done apprenticeship and training for doing front of house management.
Right.
So I've done that for like 4 or 5 years, but then changed jobs, and instead of like I went originally to go and work out front there, but they had no vacancies when they opened that restaurant, so I ended up just going in the kitchen. Actually on pot wash for about 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Smash that out. Yeah, long hours that one though, very long. And then eventually gradually moved us into the kitchen.
So is it
And then not now I'm doing pizzas.
a career that you could see yourself in 5, 10 years?
Not full time in the kitchen. No, I think what I'm doing now is I'm using this as a like sort of stepping stone and like sort of to go back out front. So like to manage somewhere out front. One of my mates who you met at BridgeCon Dom, the one that looks like Napoleon Dynamite. His mother is looking at buying somewhere in the Isles of Scilly. In a
Isles
few years'
of
time,
Scilly.
yes, just off Cornwall.
Oh, Cornwall.
The-
all right,
yeah.
okay.
His grandfather actually has a timeshare out there, so I've been over there a couple of times. And when she is looking at buying this place, it's either going to be a pub or a restaurant. She actually wants, she said before that she wants me managing the place, which would be pretty fun and cool. But what I'm doing now, working in the kitchen, is kind of just complementing what I can do in front of house. So say like we don't have a chef turns in or something like that, I've got the skill set to be able to jump in the kitchen if needs be, which kind of like opens everything up for everyone.
Aye. I suppose it's good in a sense that you get to see different aspects of the environment
Yeah,
you're going to be working in, because then you know, right, this is how he should be doing it. Why is he not doing it that way? Or why don't you try it this way, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, that's how I'm hoping to do it that way. But it's also worked in reverse as well. So when I've been in the kitchen, I've been on past stuff like that. Seeing how a business runs the front of house, I've actually had input into what the management should do in order to like sort of help the business. And because I'm not just a chef saying that and complaining and stuff like that, because I've had the experience before, people actually listening, and it's improving certain things slowly but surely. I'd like to think.
Oh, definitely. That's the way to do it, like. See, Sarah had a different outlook. She's trained to be a midwife.
Right.
And I asked her if she could see herself doing it in 5, 10 years. She's like, aye, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, she loves doing that sort of thing,
Oh man, I can definitely see myself still being in this business for 10 years time, man. But like probably in a different role. I don't see myself as a chef, but
the
like
same industry.
within. Yeah, definitely. I'd like to. I mean, I love pub work, bar work. So
Really?
if I could get myself back into a bar, restaurant, yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Like a social sort of role.
Yeah. Like where I worked before, it was like it was a pub in the middle of town, but it was suitably like sort of off track and like it was almost like in a proper like country lane type thing. So it felt like a proper pub that you'd be in the Lake Districts or something like that. So if I was in one of them kind of places, I'd be over the moon, absolutely over the moon, and love it because you get your regulars, you get to know who they are, and you can pretty much see them coming in the door, and you can have the drink pulled for them before they're even like sort of sat down.
That's brilliant.
It's a good little like sort of banterish relationship you get with something, which is really cool.
Oh, I can imagine. But I imagine it'd be well behaved banter.
Yeah, on occasion.
See,
No, it's always good fun.
we're
It's always good
constantly
fun.
playing pranks on each other at work. Like, we'll find, for example, I work on a chicken farm.
Right.
You find a dead mouse, so you put it in someone's welly. Stupid things like that. Or fill someone's
fun.
welly up with water or something. Or,
Yeah.
putting. It's just random stuff we got up to. Like,
There was one time when you said dead mouse there. Obviously, like I said, where I last worked was pretty much a country place. There was masses of fields actually.
I can imagine.
A couple of things behind, but obviously the landlord's cat had obviously been caught. Like it was huge. This rat.
Stuff in its face.
Oh no! It caught it, killed it, just left it in the pub garden. Now our landlord is terrified, absolutely terrified of rats. I don't know whether it's because he's like sort of his brother had been picking on him when they were kids and stuff like that, but it's irrational. Like you'll catch the guy with his arm like sort of elbow deep in a grease trap, or like sort of not scared of anything, like big massive, like sort of softy when it comes to rats. So one of the other managers, she was actually having a night out with a friend, so she was in the pub, and she was like fairly tipsy. We find this rat, clear it away. She was like, no, give it. Ran up the fire escape to the flat upstairs above the pub, knowing that John was up there, the landlord. And all we hear is this like sort of proper girly shriek, and then him come back down the stairs inside the pub running and stood in the corner of the office, shaking like a leaf. Absolutely terrified because she stood there cackling like a witch, running in the chase with this dead rat in her tub. And I've never seen him look like that. Like, he was almost in cold sweats. It was hilarious.
Oh my God,
we shouldn't be laughing. That's so funny.
Making fun of his phobia. That's terrible.
Oh yeah. But it was just the shriek we heard. We're like, what is that?
Yeah.
The whole pub heard it. It was funny as.
It's the stuff you get away with, yeah. It's great.
Oh yeah. Like I say that. If anyone else, it'd have been fired. But like Daniela's been with the company for nearly 30 years, so she got a little bit of a slap on the wrist. But it was like, you're sacked.
What you like with fast food? What's your favourite go-to fast food?
At the minute, it tends to be pizzas usually because I make them out all the time there, so they're easy enough to make at work. But there's a pizza shop that's pretty damn good, just literally 2 minutes walk away. So it's easy enough that when I finish work, because I mean, being around food all day kind of puts me off eating whilst I'm at work.
Really?
So when I'll nibble, but whilst I'm in there, I'll not want to eat while I'm at work, even on my breaks and that. I tend to just sit there and read.
Huh. You think it'd have the opposite effect, eh?
Yeah. Usually, like sort of like when I was like, I'd want to be eating all the time. I'd be picking.
Sorry, you cut out there. When you were where? Sorry.
When I was working front of house, it was kind of the opposite. So I would want to be eating all the time, but like now I'm in the kitchen and I'm seeing food all the time. I'm making food up, like sort of.
You're kind of sick of
kind
it.
Of the opposite, yeah. You do. You kind of get sick of it. So even when I come home, like I just can't be asked cooking for myself most of the time. So I do tend to just nibble on like sort of fast food stuff. And obviously the closest one that's still open by the time I come home is the pizza shop on the road. So I'll just pop in on my way home. But thankfully it's really good.
Oh, fair enough. So how many times have you been to PreachCon?
This year was the first year I went.
First year.
So yeah, I was between jobs last time PreachCon was on.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't get a chance to get the tickets and stuff because I was working when they went through last time. But like I say, I was between jobs, so I'd seen all the run up to it and the coverage and like how hyped everyone was on the stream and everything. So I was like, right, I definitely have to do it this year. So when the notification came around, I think it was about February time that they said they were actually doing it and the tickets were going on sale. I messaged my mate because they were going on sale obviously during the web show, which was Saturday night, and I was working. Asked him to go over and So he got us the tickets there, sorted, which was amazing.
No, it was the first thing I'd ever went to in regards to YouTubers and meetups and things like that.
Yeah.
Don't regret it in the slightest.
Oh, definitely not, man.
It's a thing you can look forward to each year, and
yeah,
you could, you can go down and meet everybody. That isn't a
Yeah.
problem, but you'll not get into the show or anything like that.
yeah,
But in that regards, go. You know, because
Yeah,
you
man.
could still meet all these people. You could still have a laugh in that. You could still have just as good a time as everybody else.
yeah, man. I mean, like, I'd be considering the same thing again. Like you say, the tickets are quite in short supply. I mean, it was 2
Yeah.
minutes, was it? 2 minutes are sold out in.
Was it 2 minutes?
Yeah, man. 2 minutes this year.
See, I didn't. I went to my bed early that night because
Yeah.
I wasn't going.
Oh man, it was insane. Like I said, my mate went and got the tickets, and he said it was like nerve wracking because obviously, seeing how many people want but there was only the 250 tickets, and they sold out. Like obviously, they posted the link to the patrons first, so you had to sign up to Patreon, like sort of like sign up to preach on Patreon to be able to get the link quickly.
Yeah.
To be able to do it, and luckily he did because, like I said, it was 2 minutes. Insane. But
That's
with them being
unreal.
that in high demand, next year I'm totally planning on going regardless of a ticket or not because, like you said, just the atmosphere of meeting everyone was amazing.
Aye, definitely.
I'm glad I took the time. I was only going to go down on Thursday and come back on but I'm glad I didn't. I extended it a day each side. So I was down on the Wednesday and came back home on the Saturday. I'm glad I did because within 15 minutes of actually being at in the train station, it was just like everyone was so friendly. You could just stand there and like sort of just like literally just loiter with one group of people and instantly you'd be in conversation with them. It was amazing. Not a bad bone in anyone's body.
Oh, definitely not. And it's great because they're just fellow nerds, eh? It's good.
Yeah.
There's no malice. We get a couple of weirdos in every situation, but for the most part, probably there's maybe only one or two people there that you might not have got on with. In general, at least.
Well, yeah, man, I didn't find that at all.
Nah. I mean, if you'd spoke to everybody there,
yeah, there'd be someone that'd have some sort of little bit,
but that's what I mean. For the most part, I didn't meet anybody that I didn't like.
Yeah.
You know? And there was people there that met me last year, but I can't remember them. You know, not my fault. I was drunk. You know, so I'm taking that.
That's just no, man, like I say, it's just insane. Like, I mean, the best part about it was as well, like, sort of, I think I had, like, even though it was my first one, I think I had an advantage. I do because I can literally go up to anyone and talk to anyone about anything.
Yeah.
But seeing some of the other people, like, sort of, obviously, our community, there is a lot of people who are, like, sort of very socially anxious. And just seeing them and, like, sort of, like, they just stood there, like, kind of on their own and just, like, walking up to them and go and stand over there. Or just go and stand and listen to the conversation. You're getting included. And
guaranteed
just seeing
there's
how people,
something
like,
you can talk about.
Yeah. Especially since we're all there for the same reason.
Oh,
so, like, there's at least one thing we all have in common. But just seeing how people have grown over that, like, sort of that weekend from the Wednesday and then seeing them on, like, the Friday morning and how different, like, the were with the people that we've been with. It was really good. Really good atmosphere.
That was actually my next point that happened. I was talking to Sarah as well, talking about social anxiety and things like that. Do you suffer for that? Hang on, you cut out there.
Sometimes I do feel as though I do, but like then on them days I just put my head in the sand and I'll stay quiet. But I think that's more of a situation because of my mum. I've grown up since I was 3-year-old knowing that she's had bipolar disorder.
Right.
So that's been something that's kind of hung over me since my dad died. When I was a kid, because my first foster placement after he died, I got in the hospital. She'd done a lot of research into bipolar disorder for me. Obviously, know my mum.
Who did that? Sorry.
My first foster carer.
Oh,
So
they
she'd
looked
like
at right.
researched it.
Okay.
Yeah, they'd researched it because obviously they didn't know what it was really, and having me there in the placement, kind of, she wanted
Asking
to clue herself
questions
in.
and
Yeah. Well, it's like I knew enough about it from myself because, like I said, I was 11 at the time. Sorry, 12 at the time. And I grew up like real quick, and I'd understood a lot of it from my mum going in and out of hospital as a kid.
Yeah.
But I'd always had my dad as backup there. But when he died, my mum went off the rails a little bit more, ended up in hospital for a long time, and I had to go into foster care. So she'd done a lot of the research, so she knew what to expect from my mum, kind of thing. And it was at that point, though, that we found that it can be like sort of hereditary, and it takes like a major event in someone's life to trigger it. Yeah. Now, what I didn't realise at the time was my whole family kind of expected it to trigger in me when my dad died. So it's always been something that's kind of hanging over my head. That I'm always worried about that I'll turn out like my mum, kind of thing. So like,
well, no one's exactly the same in that regard.
Yeah.
So even if you did get something like that, it would probably be a lot different to what your mum had.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's like kind of, well, if it does happen, I'm kind of hoping, because my mum's gone down a self-destructive route.
Right. Okay.
I haven't spoken to her in about 2 years because of it. Because she's pushed all of her family away, she pushed me away and everything like that. So like, I wouldn't like to go down that route. But I think at the minute, like sort of my mental capability, like sort of my, like for want of a better term, intelligence on the subject is kind of like bringing me back, like sort of centering me. Sort of, I can see myself going down.
You can
a little
identify
bit of
the signs that.
Yeah, and nip it in the bud as I'm going down. So,
that's the way to do it. And the biggest help for anything like that, and depression in general, is to talk to people.
Oh yeah.
Just don't bottle things up. Just have a rant. Have somebody that you can just, you're an asshole. You're a fucking prick. Oh, by the way, see that stuff I said yesterday? I didn't mean it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's why I like working in the industry for the most part, because there's always people there. I mean, the guys in the kitchen, you spend more time with them over a week than you do any of your family. Like we've got 12-hour shifts, like 5 days a week.
That's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours, yeah. But it's a lot of time you spend with them people. So you kind of do get a blow off steam with them. Like you should crack humour and all that sort of stuff.
Aye.
And it's great because you become kind of like a family.
Yeah.
Especially with the lads in the kitchen.
I mean, you see it all the time with work and that. The same when I'm working. There's 4 of us that work together all the time. So it's like a tight little circle of guys. And you can class them all as your friends. You can go out and have a drink with them. You can go out and socialise with them. You know pretty much what's going on in their lives every day. But then as soon as you stop working with them, you're probably talking like 95% of people you lose contact with.
Yeah.
Because you're not friends. You're work friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you'll see them in the street and you'll right back to where you were, you know, but again, it's the...
Nowhere near as close.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different kind of friend, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's nights obviously where you go on night out after work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we have them kind of things. But I know exactly, because some of the people I used to work with, I don't see them, I don't talk to anymore.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to. I mean, there's the odd little Snapchat that goes around. The odd night, like you'll bump into them on night out and you'll have, like you say, it's like as if,
yeah, it's as if you've never stopped working together.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's different for the people, the kind of friendships you make. At other times in your life, like school friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, Dom, he's essentially my brother, the guy from Cambridge. We met whilst we were at uni in Sheffield. And his family's like my family. that's how close it is. Like, sort of, his mother's such a wonderful person,
Yeah.
and it's like there'll be months where we don't message each other or anything like that. But we'll go on holiday and we'll see each other again, and it'll be like we only like sort of messaged each other a couple of days before.
Aye.
So but that's one of the lasting friendships that will never go, that one.
Can you hear the dog?
Roughly in the background. I've just heard him as you mentioned it.
Yeah, he's been barking now and again. I didn't know how sensitive this mic was. I can see it in OBS.
Not loud, like
background noise.
Aye.
Oh. Aye. So that's social anxiety. How much of a tangent was that? Oh, it's great. Love it, man. What sort of hobbies are you into?
Obviously, gaming's a big one. This afternoon, I actually went out when I was in town and got the new Spider-Man.
Oh, aye.
The PS4. So I'm looking forward to getting tucked into that one.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it's I do like my films. Quite a big Marvel fan for the films.
I quite like the films, aye.
Yeah, they've done really well with that. Last week off I had was a couple of weeks back over my birthday, and I literally just went through every single one of them, one after the other.
Wow.
So, like the 19 films that are out. Still haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp yet.
There's 19 films?
It was 20, including Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Yeah, man. It's nuts. So I went through on my week off and just ploughed through all that whilst doing the rep grind.
That is a good effort, by the way. That takes some serious brain power to get through all that.
Yeah, man, just one after the other. I think I've done like on the Monday I'd done like 5 or 6 of the films, just back to back to back. Got takeaway. It's meant. Yeah. Other than that, I've got the Kindle app on my phone. Fair amount, and at the minute go the old Star Wars Legends stuff.
All right, okay.
So all the old expanded universe before Disney took up. Yeah.
I've been I was listening to the audiobooks for them, starting from Darth Bane.
It's an amazing trilogy. That.
Oh,
I think I've read through them a very fair few times.
I read the books and then I listened to the audiobooks.
Right.
And they're both as good as each other. Like,
I've never actually listened to a book before.
Oh, mate, they're really good, and obviously that and like wee sound effects and all that as well, lightsabers swinging about, and they actually do it really well.
Yeah.
But I tell you a good one to read and or listen to is the Traveller from Blizzard.
Oh, is it? It's not about Destiny, is it?
No, it's about a little boy. It's in the Warcraft universe.
Right.
A little boy, something Thawne.
Right.
Can't remember his first name. Anyway, he gets taken away with his dad, and he's on this ship, and a series of dramatic events happen, and then he's no longer on the ship, but he's got to try and survive. He's trying to get home, and it's like a survival type adventure. And there's 2 books out now. One was released in 2016, I believe, and one was released in February there, and they're really good. And it's the first time, right, that did I listen to it? I listened to it. I got it on what was it? Amazon.
Was it the Audible?
Aye, that one. And it's the first time I've actually listened to something like that, and I've got excited about a race being explained to me. It was a really weird feeling, honestly, and I quite believe reading it as well, you'd be in the same sort of zone.
Yeah,
and it was good. Like, it was well worth it. If you've got the time for it, go for it, man. It's good.
Yeah, man. Definitely something like so. I do prefer Like when it comes to reading, having the actual book in my hand. But more often than not, circumstance doesn't really permit it, because I'll be reading just as I'm going to sleep, and it's a lot easier to read on a phone which has its own inbuilt light system.
Aye.
As opposed to switching it off, and you can just literally put it down. You don't have to worry about it. You can put it on your bed next to you. And then also at work, when I'm on my breaks, I can sit upstairs and just sit and read and have a cup of tea for an hour. And it's a lot easier just to have my phone where I can choose from all sorts of other books.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's another series that I haven't. 5 books mainly because.
And sorry, you cut out there. Another series, what?
Another series of novels. I think I've read the first 7, but he releases like this guy releases them quite regularly, man. I think there was one year he released 3. It's just rapid with them.
Who's this?
It's sorry, that didn't explain this very well. It's the Ben Hope series of novels.
Ben Hope.
Yeah, Ben Hope by Scott Mariani, I think his name is. Okay. And essentially, this guy's a ex-SAS, like sort of from, I think it's the 22nd Division, something like that, like one of the specialist things. And he now goes into kidnap and ransom, like sort of like recovery. So essentially, if there's a high value target that's been kidnapped, and usually with kids, he'll go in, extract them, and bring them back to the families and stuff. But in the process of doing all this, he ends up getting into some proper Dan Brown like conspiracy stuff, which is really cool. So like the first one he actually read was a book called The Mozart Conspiracy, and it was about all these like sort of letters and everything that like to do with the magic flute and stuff, which is really good, the twists and turns. But like I say, the book I originally went for was because it was called The Mozart Conspiracy, and I was studying music at AL. And it turns out it's just opened my eyes to a whole like sort of series of books which are fantastic. Really are.
See, it's good when you find a book that you didn't actually know was a trilogy.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, there's more.
Especially if you like sort of you stumble across it from, like I said, with me it was from music, like completely different thing. I wasn't even expecting what it was. But then it's just evolved into a love for the series. Like you say, it's a hidden gem, as it were.
Yeah. Right. Have you ever tried airsoft?
I haven't. No, I've done paintball and stuff.
Oh, I've done that. That's good.
I imagine. But no, it is something I would like to do. Just time constraints and commitment, work and stuff. But
I hear you in that.
I've obviously seen the pre-con chat that you tune or something like that recently.
Sorry, you cut out. Say again.
You've seen in the pre-con chat that you got into a bit of trouble with the law.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was fun. Yeah, I was up at the local chip shop doing deliveries.
Right.
And my airsoft pistol was in a box on the back seat. With I had a picture of it on the front of the box.
Yeah.
And there was an airsoft shotgun right next to it. No box or anything. But it looked it was bright blue, had an orange end on it, and it looked like something out of Halo.
Right.
So obviously it's a toy gun.
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook Messenger with my brother on a video call, and I'm like, yeah, look at this. Opens the box, shows him the gun, takes the top off it, puts it back on, puts it back in the box, points it at him, at the phone, and then puts it down, which is now facing the middle of the road, not the side of the road, not at anyone. Puts it back in the box, and then I pulls out the shotgun, shows him that, puts it back, and at that, the girl in the chip shop shouts at me. So, right, see you later. Hangs up, out the car, into the shop, grabs the bag, puts it in the back of the car. Keep in mind, there's loads of kids and 2 women stood outside the chippy.
Yeah.
So, in the car, I'm off, does a delivery, comes back. The armed response unit pull me over. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but to cut a long story short, they pulls me out the car. Is that an airsoft pistol in the back? Aye. Right, okay. We need to search you. We had a report that blah, 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 blah. What?
Oh, God.
You had a report of what? Oh, you pulled it out in public and somebody was scared. Oh, you're fucking having me on. So, the gun, the pistol was black,
yeah,
but it's checkered blue on the top. So if you
Right.
looked at it, it's not a gun.
yeah,
They didn't look at it. They just seen it, panicked, fucking, phoned the
Yeah.
police. I got arrested. I was in the cell for about 5 or 6 hours, which only actually felt like 2 or 3 hours. Because I just put myself in a weird meditative trance,
yeah.
and time just, boom, it was gone.
Nice.
And I was winding up the woman next door to me in the next cell. I think she was on a downer from Ching or fucking. She was away, like, honestly. And she kept shouting, I want my fucking lawyer. So I'd start barking like a dog. And, shut up, you evil bastard. And then she'd sit down for 5-10 minutes, being quiet. And then she'd get back up. I want a cup of tea. Row, row, row. Shut up, you horrible cunt. I'm going to bang you. And she sat down again. And this went on for ages. Oh,
Keeping yourself amused.
oh, it was great. And I started singing and fucking whistling. And oh, I was driving her mad. But she was driving me mad with the noise.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
What goes around comes around.
Oh, aye. So they lets me out on a bail undertaking, they called it.
Right.
Bastards kept my airsoft pistol, though. So I'm meant to be on court. This is the beginning of the month. I'm supposed to be in court near the end of the month. So I'm looking online, trying to get an idea, because I had my date that I was supposed to be at court. The time and the date I'm to be there. So, right, fine. So I'm looking online the day, like a couple of weeks before, a few days before, and there's nothing online saying that I'm going to be in court.
Right.
Because you have a listing online of who's going to be in court. So if you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see somebody or you're in court, you can check. My
Yeah.
name's not on it.
Right.
I finally gets a letter like the day before, 1 or 2 days beforehand. The Procurator Thisco is not going to take this any further at this time. Right, okay. And then I get another letter a few weeks later. Come pick up your airsoft pistol or it'll be destroyed in 28 days. All right, okay. So that's the charges dropped then, because that's the evidence.
Yeah.
So I was open with the police. I told them exactly what I told you.
Yeah.
So what must have happened is there was 2 women there. Both of them must have gave a statement.
Right.
So you only need 2 bits of evidence to
Yeah.
do it. Now, their 2 statements must have been different. Something had to contradict. And my testimony, all right, you can't incriminate yourself with your own evidence.
Yeah.
But my testimony must have corroborated one of their stories.
Yeah.
And contradicted the other. So I think that's what's happened. I think there's something like that's happened, and they've decided, nah, there's not enough evidence.
Yeah.
Plus the fact it's a morally grey area with airsoft pistols.
Yeah.
I wasn't pointing at anyone.
No.
That's the point, eh?
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Lessons learned. I won't be doing that again. But, I got my pistol back. Which, to be fair, was like 95 quid.
Yeah, it's a hefty whack, like.
Yes, it is.
Hefty whack.
But aye, that was my little adventure. Never been in bother before, never had any sort of trouble. First time being in a cell.
Yeah.
So, good fun.
Nice fun escapade for you.
Yeah. Something to talk about, eh? Talking point. I got arrested when I was younger. Wow, what did you do? Selling drugs or nah? I had a toy.
Well, when you put it like that.
Yeah, total waste of fucking time and money, that.
Yeah, for everyone. Jesus.
You ever done scuba diving or snorkeling or anything like that?
No. I've messed around with the snorkel in the bathtub, but that's about.
That doesn't count, man. Try to see your own Tadger underwater doesn't count, man. Oh, it looks bigger under there. Nah, it's the same size, like.
Damn it.
Damn, we're getting
No,
awful
I've
there.
never done it. My cousin's been off before. When she went away to, where was it? Tenerife, I think it was. She's said it was amazing. But
All right.
never actually had the opportunity.
It's worth doing.
Yeah.
It's a totally different world down there. It's amazing. And even if you just go to snorkeling, I went snorkeling in Jamaica and I didn't date in Mexico. Just done it in Jamaica. But there was a little rock pool outside the hotel. Well,
Right.
but it was on a beach. But in this rock pool there was is it a sea urchin? The little spiky things?
Oh yeah.
I was trying to explain to Sarah what that was. I couldn't remember the name of it for the life of me. But it was a little one. It looked like a hedgehog.
Right.
And pick it up. And I went to let it go. But it like got little suckers in between all the spikes.
Right.
And I'm assuming it like grabs onto seaweed and things like that and sucks it
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Because it wouldn't let go. Alright, I just pushed it off and it was fine, but
Yeah.
if you kept a hold of that for a while, it would start to puncture your skin, like.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
It's just-
Prickly
and-
little buggers, aren't
I can imagine standing on one too. That wouldn't be nice.
they?
But yeah,
No, not for me.
so
Not for me.
little fish. You see all the little fish and things like that. It's definitely worth doing.
Yeah.
Even if you just go on a trip with snorkeling involved. We went on a booze cruise, and they give you a snorkel right when you go. Get in the water, give you a life jacket, and away you go. And you got all these people bobbing about in the water, just these guys are making easy money. But
yeah.
it's good. It's good fun. It's definitely worth doing. I've done shark diving at Deep Sea World.
Right.
I say shark diving. You went on it underwater and there's sharks in the water.
Right.
There's a 44 stone shark called Tinkerbell. So, yeah, that's a laugh. And you got these things, they swim, the tank's what, 3 metres deep? And they swim in the middle. And that's about head height. So when you're walking around in that, you've got a dry suit and you've got weights on to hold you down.
Yeah.
So you can walk along the bottom of the tank. And the guy does a thing, so he shows you a symbol that tells you, this means go on your knees. So you do that. And this thing just swims right over the top of you. There's like 4 big sharks in there. Yeah, it's good fun. Like, it's,
Yeah, man. Can imagine it being pretty cool.
It's definitely worth doing.
Wow.
And you don't have to have previous knowledge of diving either.
Right.
So
Well, it's just walking around at the bottom of the tank, isn't it?
Aye.
I imagine.
And they give you a little
That's pretty cool.
tutorial before you go in and that. This is how you breathe,
Right.
bum. So and if anything goes wrong, there's guys there with you. And they've got extra air tanks and everything that go with it. So it's good.
That's pretty cool.
It's definitely worth doing, like. What about martial arts? You ever do anything like that?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to do karate over at the local recreation centre. But then we moved from where I grew up as a kid to another town just over. I used to love it. I think I was about 8-year-old when I done it.
Yeah.
I went right the way through, and I think I got up to brown belt.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool. But then when we moved, I done, I think it was about 6 or 7 months worth of taekwondo as well.
Okay.
Which was awesome. That's probably, I think that now, oh Jesus, I'm getting old. It was about
When you
15
put it
years
that
ago.
way.
Yeah. Thinking about it now, so it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Time ago.
Would you ever consider going back?
Yeah, I probably would, to be honest. But it's going back and finding the time to do something like that.
Yeah.
Especially with my work, like I said before, it's 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. So on my off days, more often than that, I'll just like sort of sit and chill and just do nothing kind of thing. But no, I'd definitely be interested in doing it again.
Well, for what it's worth, I recommend doing something like that, even if it's because it's an hour and a half, 2 hours out your day.
Yeah.
It's.
It's not much, is it?
Nah. And even if you do it at the weekend, it's half the battle. Or whenever you've
Yeah.
got time off, I suppose. But
I
it's
was gonna say,
definitely
like-
worth, when you're off, it's definitely worth doing something.
Yeah.
Doing the same things over and over, you'll drive yourself mad. Like, it's just.
Trouble obviously is with, like I said to you before, I've never got consistent days off.
Yeah.
And more like how a week works, so more often than not, I won't find out until the Saturday afternoon when I've got off the next week. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to try and plan that. Get a lot of things unless you've got time booked off. It's difficult to try and sort of plan anything. So I mean, with myself, it's I don't tend to request a day off purely because I know the other lads have some kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I haven't got that kind of commitment because I'm a single guy, don't have any family, like sort of, I don't have any kids or anything like that. So with myself, it's not too much of a major issue to just be given my days rather than requesting.
Yeah.
So I kind of leave it up to the other lads.
Do
first.
you want next week off? Aye, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, that's fair enough. Like during the summer holidays and that, I would imagine everybody would be trying to put the holidays in, get away and things like that.
Yeah, there's obviously our breakfast chef. She'd had 2 weeks for her child, like one at the start for the summer holidays, one at the end. Our regular pizza chef, we call Dave.
You call
He's actually
Dave?
called yes, he's actually called Mania, guy from Bangladesh.
Right.
This summer he had all of his holidays that he'd accrued, and this year's holidays he took 7 weeks, went back over to Bangladesh with his family to see all of his relatives.
That is a good effort. Like 7 weeks off.
7 weeks, man. But he hadn't been back there in about 50. Moved to Italy, and like sort of was a chef there for like 10 years or so, and then he's obviously come over here. So it's the first time he's gone back, and first time some of his kids have met his. So he went for the whole hog, cost him a fortune. But it kind of left us in the predicament of needing a pizza chef.
Yeah.
So I'd never done it before the summer really. Shift manager. So it kind of threw me in at the deep end. But he's back now. But it's kind of like, oh, I enjoyed that.
Can I keep doing that?
But no, it's funny. He came back last Saturday. He was in, and he had a laughing joke on. He was like, "Oh, you do pizza?" Yeah, absolutely. And his face just dropped because he was like, "Oh, I'm not doing starters and desserts." No, quite a night. Bless him.
Oh well. Good fun,
No,
eh?
he's, I don't know. 7 weeks, man. He was missed. He was missed.
Yeah. You don't really a couple of weeks is fine, eh? You don't really notice. Everybody just adds the extra work in, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But more than that, you're like, where is that cunt? When the fuck
is he coming?
Where
back?
are you? Are you coming back or no? Fuck's sake, man. Yeah. Totally get it. Like,
It must have been some trip that though.
oh,
You were
7
saying,
weeks. I'd be bored at my
yeah.
skull. That's
Well,
been 7
obviously, it was nuts. I mean, goodness knows how big his family is. He said it was incredible, like going back there after so long. But the heat was killing him. It was like 40 degrees constant all the way through the night as well.
Fucking
Just
hell.
a constant, just bump. Oh, couldn't go.
You should have went well.
Are you joking? I just stepped 1 foot off the plane, I'd have burnt him.
I just melting
Yeah,
the stairway.
I had to buy some Factor 50 sun cream over just before, I think it was June, July, when we had all that.
Yeah, the extra heat. Yeah.
Yeah, I, like just for the 5 minutes or so I'd have a break outside. I had
5
to wear
minutes.
sun cream. Yeah, man, it was horrendous.
I've
mean-
actually got a good bit of a tan this year. And I don't tan, it's just like a
Yeah.
dirty brown. Oh, sorry, a dirty white. We'll go for that. More freckles than you can count.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you not just been rolling around in the mud?
Well, I work on a chicken farm. It's probably shite. Yeah. Good
No, I
fun.
mean, preach, man. When we were out,
Oh,
in
that was
Manchester. I think
roasting.
it was on the Thursday morning. It was boiling hot, man.
Oh,
I was sat
man.
there. I think I put a bit of sun cream on, and then everybody around was like, "Oh, can I borrow some?"
Give me some.
I was like, "Oh God."
The fellow nerds are burning.
It's the sun. We've never seen this before.
What do you think I felt?
Oh.
I had a bottle of red wine before it started. Whoa.
Oh, them
Oh.
3 days, man. 16-hour drinking sessions, I think it was. Each
Fuck.
morning was starting at about 11, and I was finishing at like sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for 3 days straight.
See, I had to make sure I was in my bed early for reasons to,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
had to be up early.
Oh yeah.
So,
Nuts, man. I had a really awkward encounter with Taliesin as well.
awkward.
Well, he made levity of it. Obviously, it being that warm, me being me, I don't cope well with heat anyway, but I brought a spare t-shirt in my bag home just to change into. So I'd gone into the toilet of the little pub we were in and strips my shirt off, reaches down in my bag to get me the other one, and I hear the door open, thinking nothing of it. Turns round, it's Taliesin. I'm like, oh God. It had to be the most handsome, perfect guy that was at the convention. And I walks in, and there's obviously a big YouTuber. And I was like, oh shit. He was like, oh, sorry there. I was like, oh, please don't mind. I'm just getting changed. But then he was like, oh no, honestly, it's fine. I pulls out my spray. So I choose now. He's like, oh, you've got spray. Can I? So I was like, yeah, man, go for it. I'm sat there like a little bit starstruck anyway.
He's,
but then
he's
like,
no bothered. It was just you then.
Yeah, I was like, oh my, like it could have been anyone else. It was Taliesin, like I said, but he's just like dressed to the nines, like looks smart and impeccable. Ever.
He did overdress, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he pulled it off well. He pulled it off really well. But
Oh, yeah.
he pops into the toilet and I'm not pulling that like my spray out. He's borrowing spray. I was like, yeah, I'm well prepared for this. I've got my sun cream in it, my antihistamines for like sort of hay fever and everything like that. He was like, oh, you sound like a man that's done this during more prepared.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, man.
That's what you're after, though, eh? Go prepared, or you prepare to fail prepare.
Exactly. Aye.
Are you squeamish?
Poor preparation prevents piss poor.
Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Something like that. Yeah.
Are you squeamish?
Oh, no, I wouldn't say I was actually. No, I remember a time when I was actually in the middle of taking an order for a table in the pub. Just writing the order, and out the corner, I see this thing flying around. So, thinking it's a fly, I reach out, full on Mr. Miyagi, and catch it in my hand. And I looks at the table in front of me, and they've all got like looks of horror on the face. And I just, without opening my hand, I looked at them and went, "That wasn't a fly, was it?" Like, nope. I looked, and out the corner of my hand, crawling out of it, is this big old dirty wasp. I was like, "I'll be back in a second." Chucks it outside. A wasp. It was huge.
Whoa!
Chucks it out. Came back to the table. I was like, "Right, can I take your order?" And they were like, "Did that not sting you?" I was like, No, it was all right. But it was like, I was quite shocked, man. This thing was like,
that's amazing.
I was like, oh, all right, okay. Casual. I was really surprised.
So you're a god of war and a fucking ninja. Catching wasps.
A ginger ninja.
Gee whiz, that's brilliant. I don't know how it never stung you. That's something else.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Like, obviously, I didn't squeeze it, which would have been stupid. But like the fact that I'd actually plucked it out of the air.
Hey, you made their lives better because then they weren't worrying about a wasp.
Yeah.
Customer service at its best, eh?
Oh yes.
Can't go in with fly killer, can you? There's food.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's amazing.
You know, like living where I did as a kid as well. It was like a proper little village thing. Our back garden was a field beyond that, and the local lake and everything. And obviously there was woods and stuff around the area as well. So me being me, like a kid, like if I was squeamish, I wouldn't be able to have fun out there. But I was always running around playing in the wood and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I was always picking up worms and chasing people around with them as you do as kids. So,
Yeah, I've done that a couple of times.
yeah.
It's only usually girls that are scared of worms, though. Or they act as if they do. I don't think worms are actually scary.
Oh, yeah. Just one second.
Yep.
Ah. Now I'm trying not to disturb you upstairs. I'll really okay. Just carry on. He's recording us all.
If you want to hear a break, you can hear a break. I'll just pause the recording.
In order to like not disturb him, I've moved downstairs, but he's up and about now. So
Okay.
I've relocated again.
Ah, right, okay. On the move again. On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again. Aye. So you're staying at your pulses?
It's kind of like I've been here about 2 years now, so it's kind of living here kind of thing. It's stemming on from the situation with Mum, which is why I haven't been speaking to her. So, excuse me.
Apparently people with depression do tend to push people away.
Yeah.
Which is devastating, and I don't think they do it intentionally.
Well, she kind of has. This is the long side of the story. She's anyone who's tried to help her, she's like sort of shut down essentially, refused help for so long.
Yeah.
But it's not even just that. She was listening to the wrong people. So someone would say something to her, and it'd be like they haven't got a clue what they're talking about essentially.
Yeah.
But she'd listen to them, and she'd take that as fact. So whenever anyone who knew what they were talking about contradicted what she had already, she refused to believe them, which wasn't a good situation. But whilst I was like sort of, I'd moved back in, stayed with her again after coming out of uni to help her.
Yeah.
She kept lending 20 quid off me every day for about 3 or 4 months. But it wasn't just lending it off me every day. She was waking me up at 5:30 in the morning to ask for money.
All right, okay.
And it ended up being about £800 that she owed us.
Jesus.
And every time she kept paying us back, she'd try and pay us back in a big, massive lump sum, leave herself short, and then have to borrow more money off me again, just to keep herself thinking, like survive. But she was just wasting money, and every time I tried to ask for like money back, because like obviously it was quite a big financial
it's
pressure
strain
on me.
on yourself as well.
Yeah, it caused arguments, which wasn't great.
No, not healthy.
Oh no, not at all. So what I tried to do was say, instead of like sort of paying lodge, each week I'll just deduct that off how much you owe me. And obviously her being her, didn't think she was borrowed. Like, I don't know whether like sort of in the state she was in, I think she hadn't been taking tablets and medication and everything like that as well, which didn't help. But she didn't realise and remember how much she'd actually been borrowing off me, even though I was writing it all, and she was signing next to it just like because we had started getting a ridiculous amount.
Yep.
She was saying I was lying and stuff like that, and then causing arguments. And then when I'd argue back, she'd call the police and saying she's fearing for her life and everything like that. But when they come, they could see the situation and understood like sort of what had been going on because they'd known my mum. But as it was, like sort of one of us still had to leave the premises for the night.
Oh, like
so
a domestic type thing.
Yeah. So I ended up coming to my mate a couple of times, and it just got that bad that she was hassling me at work and everything like that. So like I ended up moving out.
Was she at your work,
awful situation.
Or was she just like phoning you when you're there?
She was phoning in, and then she'd come down and stuff. It was just horrendous, like awful. But I ended up leaving the place. moving to my mates, and then I'd still like sort of phone her and speak to her every now and then. But then she ended up, what was it she'd done? She'd shouted death threats and stuff to the neighbours, got arrested for that. And then I think she'd spent a week in prison for that, got it all sorted out. And then it was actually in the local paper, which I didn't really know because I don't obviously read the papers, don't have the time to. But it was pointed out to me by some people I work with that she'd been arrested for stealing charity money out of shops as well.
Oh,
yeah. So, but then she's like so while I think she was in jail for about 3 months or so for that.
See, I don't agree with pitting. I don't mean to sound nasty saying it this way, but I don't agree with pitting people in that's got mental issues in prison, or at least not in a normal prison.
No, well, she wasn't. She was in like a kind of thing, maximum security thing.
So you cut it there. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. She was in a place up in Durham that was it's like a hospital prison, so a prison for like that particular thing.
Okay, so they were looking after her when she was in there, sort of
thing. Yeah, but it was obviously still in there
still prison.
for. Yeah. So she'd obviously tried to reach me and like get in contact with me to try and go and see her, and I was like, I didn't want to, so I'd spoken to a solicitor and asked how she was and everything like that, and she was like, yeah, it's fine. I'll get I'll get back in contact with you next week. Next week didn't come around. Like I'm still like sort of don't know what the hell's going on with her. Next thing you know, in walks my mum to my place of work.
Oh, no.
She's obviously on a medication, stuff like that. She'd been apparently a DLA hadn't been stopped while she was in jail, jail, which it was supposed to have been. So she got a massive amount of money. She blew it all. Just literally went to shop, bought a load of crap.
Spending therapy, innit?
Yeah.
I think that's what they call it.
And she went to Primark and she brought me what she said was her birthday gift. She brought me like £100 Primark card to try and make up things. I was like, I don't even want it. Like I was stood at work shaking like a leaf because I was that stressed that she was there and I couldn't work properly. But the worst part about it was she was she'd obviously been on medication, but she was overly nice. And she was chatting on with everyone I work with, and they were like, "Oh, she seems fine," and stuff like that. But I'm like, I've seen that side of it too many times. To
two sides of the coin.
Yeah. Like I say, when she's on a medication, she has a heart. But it's just too often recently that she's been thinking that she doesn't need the medication and just went off the rails.
That's the bipolar part, though, isn't it?
Oh,
they feel like they're on top of the world. Feel like they're great. They feel fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great, and then boom. Rock bottom, and if they've not got the meds to catch them when they're down there,
that's the thing. They think they're untouchable, so they stop taking the medication because of the thing. And that's when you off the edge.
It's a shame, but you could see why it could be a problem.
Oh yeah.
But you'd think maybe I don't even know how you would deal with it or get them help. I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not going to pretend I know because I don't.
I'd phoned a district nurse and everything like that to try and get her help. She just refused it that many times that they kind of were like, well, we can't do anything because she's not wanting the help, she's refusing it. And she's still technically too well to get sectioned, which is the way that I actually have to do it.
I was just thinking about that. I don't know if you could prove that she's not in the right mind to be looking after herself or something.
Yeah, well...
I mean, I wouldn't want to do that to anybody, but
it's a bad situation because it wasn't just like Dad left. It wasn't just bipolar that she had anymore. Another I don't know what it was. She had split personality type thing.
Schizophrenia.
No, nothing on that scale. Just like a side. It's it was all I think they misdiagnosed it a couple of years beforehand on her as well because it just presented as the bipolar did, but it just meant that she's she switches personality, she's the same person, but just her personality just completely flips, and she can be right nasty with it as well. But I think that was what was presenting by the time I was leaving more than the bipolar. so they couldn't get a section for that. It's because it's more of a therapy help.
Right.
That
Okay.
sort of skews that side of thing rather than the medication.
Uh-huh.
But it was a bad situation to be in. But she'd been sectioned a couple of times. The first time was when she first got diagnosed. I think I was 3 or 4 year old, and all I remember was seeing her holding a knife up to my dad's throat through the kitchen door.
Oh wow.
And that was quite traumatic. So I had it'd been, even at that age, it had been programmed into me my auntie's phone number, who lived around the corner. So I'd phoned her and kind of just said something bad's happening. So she'd obviously phoned the police to come around.
Yeah, you knew at that age something was wrong.
Yeah, well, obviously seeing a knife up at your dad's throat isn't the best thing.
Yeah, that's not a nice thing to remember as well.
But no, it's not. It was awful. It's one of the first memories I had about sort of mum being ill.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of just getting a sort of sentenced and put into prison and stuff like that and pressing charges, my dad actually turned around and said, "She's obviously not well. Can we sort of get her looked at, or sort of get her checked out and stuff?"
Yeah, so he
And
knew
got
something was up
sectioned.
as well.
Yeah. And this is back in, I'm going to say around about 96 now, 95, 96.
Mm-hmm.
So it was when stuff was still relatively.
I was just about to say that's quite early on for the mental health.
Yeah, well, when she actually got diagnosed, it wasn't bipolar. It was still called hypomanic depression.
Right. Okay.
So it still had its old name and everything like that. But yeah, because of that, he ended up getting her diagnosed and got her on the mend and got her on track again.
Well, that's good then. I think was your dad keeping her level?
Yeah, very big presence in being in that.
Yeah.
And he was always a steady rock as well in situations. So there'd be times when she wasn't very well and she'd run off and go and live in a B&B for a couple of weeks. But I'd go with her because I knew my dad could look after himself, and I'd kind of try and be the stabling factor for him.
Aye, you're that wee little thing that's just to look after to keep her.
Yeah.
Keep her there.
But it'd be on my own head that I'd go with her, kind of thing. So I grew up real quick as a kid.
Oh, okay.
It's insane.
So,
but yeah, I kind of had to get out of that.
You were talking about fostering, helping foster kids and that.
Yeah, that obviously came from the situation after my dad had died. I moved into foster care. And originally, the plan was for me to go back to my mum. But I'd seen, in the 6 months between my dad dying and me going to foster care that Christmas, I'd seen how volatile it was with just me and my mum. And I'd said to them, look, it's not going to work. I think I was only 13 at the time when they were trying to put us back after my mum come back out of hospital, trying to put me back with her.
Yeah.
I said, all that'll end up happening is in 3 months' time, back and seeing me. And they weren't listening. Oh, no, we've got to get you back. It's the best thing for you.
Aye, because the assumption is you need to be with a close relative or family member to have a normal upbringing and try to keep it as normal as possible.
Yeah.
But in some cases, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Because obviously my mum was presenting quite stable and quite well. Then she had been for a good 3 or 4 months before then.
Yeah.
They seemed to think that was the best thing. But obviously I'd seen it and I'd seen how we worked. We used to rub each other up the wrong way, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially without my dad there. I'd said to them, look, just keep me in foster care. It'd be the better thing. And they're like, no. So in the end, I'd been speaking to one of my mentor/counsellor at school, and she ended up putting me on a NIAS, which is the National Youth Advocacy Service.
Right.
And they got involved, and they were an adult speaker on my behalf, and pretty much shut them down and said, look, this is how it is. It's not going to be good for him to go back there. He will be back in and out foster care, and it'll be disrupting sort of his school life, everything. Just switching all the time. He's a bright lad. He'll go down the wrong track. So they eventually started listening, and I ended up in a long-term foster placement, which turned out to be the best thing to happen because I got a lot more opportunities. I ended up going off to college and doing a bit at university and stuff as well,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't have had that opportunity if I'd have stayed with my mum.
Aye, you're going in and out and in and out, stressing about your mum,
Yeah.
not focusing at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as it was, I still ended up going and like sort of having an overnight visit my mum and stuff like that anyway.
Yeah.
So I still had the contact with her, and it was a better time spent with her than it would have been if I was living with her.
Yeah, you would have resented every moment of it. Your
Yeah.
relationship probably be a lot worse.
A lot
I'm not
earlier,
criticising or anything, but
No,
it'd
no.
probably be a lot worse now than what it is.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, it definitely would be. It definitely would be. So obviously from those experiences, I'd started getting involved in the Children in Care Council for our area,
Right.
which obviously like helped change how our local social services kind of looked at kids in care, which then spread out to like more of the northeast. And there was me and the lass who was in foster care with us as well at my long-term placement.
Yeah.
We started like sort of bringing more people into the fold, and then as it was, we were talking to foster carers on our experiences and how like sort of and like prospective foster carers, sorry, as they were training and how to like sort of welcome kids into the home and like how to like sort of handle certain situations and stuff. So we were like sort of
Like behavioural problems and things like that.
kind of. It was like we were kind of the like sort of their eyes of how it is to be in foster care, and giving them like sort of how we felt when we like sort of went into like a new household, like a stranger's home.
Stranger's house.
And
you didn't belong there.
Yeah,
All
and
that
how
stuff,
like
yeah.
how our foster care like sort of counteracted that and like helped us through it and everything like that, just to give them a bit of perspective and so they know what they were getting into when there was like a new child coming in to their home. It was invariably going to be terrified because it's a very scary situation. And
kids
it helps
don't
them
always
through.
understand what's going on, eh?
No, not all the time. No, more often than not. I mean, some of the kids I was speaking to was one lad, Yakuba, brilliant lad, bright, always enthusiastic, very intelligent, like sort of. But he'd come as an asylum seeker from Africa.
Right.
Him and his little brother had seen what can only be described as something that shouldn't like sort of happen to anyone. His family had been killed in front of him whilst he was at home, like in Africa. His parents and his little sister.
Very, very traumatic.
Yeah. But then he's come over, like sort of not really speaking the language at first, and being put in foster care. And like I say, he's such a wonderful sort of, wouldn't hurt a fly. And he's like sort of started sharing his experiences and opening up because of the work that me and Tina were doing, my foster sister, with like sort of our social services, because we started then getting like a smaller council for our like sort of kids in care council, our social services, to try and improve ours, which I think is still going on at this day.
That's brilliant.
It's just rotating through. And we all like sort of, obviously, like I said, with Yakuba, we brought him into the fold, so he started like sort of getting more hands-on involved, everything like that. And I think he's one of the leaders of the council now, even though he's like sort of moved on from, he's still getting stuck in and involved.
Aye.
Which is fantastic.
Have you considered making a video of what you said about your experiences and how talking to foster parents and that? Have you thought about putting that into like a video format? So people
I think
everywhere could watch.
if I remember rightly, the social service actually did that. So like they put together like a pack that,
right?
With
Okay.
like I say, with me and Tina, like as we were going through it, they'd be filming the meetings and stuff like that. Okay. So they've done stuff like that actually started handed to the people that can't make it to the meetings.
Yeah. Watch this, read this, all that good stuff. Yeah.
But it's so like that's like a first stage of it. But having us at those meetings is for them to like ask us questions. So it was like the hands-on approach for it as well.
Aye.
But it's good that they developed that, and like I say, I believe they still, like, I haven't had that much contact with them recently, but I believe they still do all that sort of stuff with the like kids that are in care now at the minute. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's amazing. Giving the kids opportunity to give ourselves a brighter future. Well,
Yeah.
you're giving them the
It's given-
opportunity to
Yeah,
at least let them make the decision where they want what they
Yeah.
want to do in their lives.
yeah. It was like I say, I think what my case was a stepping stone, turning us like at least in our area,
Ah,
into just from being just another number in their files into actually kids with voices who want to like sort of to have like a good role in their own like sort of life in the future.
Yeah,
Get them thinking early on.
it's the problem, I mean, like what you said there, it's putting you back into with your mum. He says, no, this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
Having that adult representative that knows you're not talking shite.
Yeah.
You actually, this is what you want, but nobody's going to listen to you.
Yeah.
So have that representative there to say, look, I know the situation, this is what's happening, and this is what he
Yeah.
wants.
Yeah.
This is the best thing for him. Because they'll listen to them.
yeah. Well, that's because they're
Sorry, you cut
if
out
they
there.
sorry, because they were impartial, like impartial advocates.
Aye.
You
I mean, a third
they
party
like,
type thing.
yeah, the social workers like kind of literally they shit themselves and started like getting into action. And it was a shame that it took that to get them to listen.
Aye.
But eventually, obviously there's no use for the advocates in our system anymore because of that sort of thing. They started listening because it wasn't just me. There was a few others that hadn't been listened to as well.
Yeah.
So obviously it brought about good change for our social services.
Sounds amazing. It really does. I've never see. I ain't going to pretend I know anything about this stuff because and for your situation, I grew up in the perfect household.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not bragging, but that means I don't know the other side.
Yeah. No, it's difficult to say. I mean, of my situation, like personally, I don't think I've really had that bad of a life considering like sort of some of the people I've spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
They've had a hell of a lot worse. So that's the outlook I've kind of taken it from, is that there's always
It
someone
could
who's
have
had
been worse.
it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Yeah. So stuff that, and to me, it's just it's a matter of fact, which is why I said to you, I'm a book. Like I don't mind talking about this, like these things, because they're experiences that have happened to me. I shouldn't be ashamed of or anything like that. And I know that I've helped people along the way. People have helped me, and like something's come of it.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I know, like I say, when I approach something and like when life's shit and stuff like that, the outlook I've got is it's not always going to be like this. And there's people out there that I know that have had it a hell of a lot worse, and that it kind of pulls you through it.
It's the way to do it, man. Just keep your head up. Things could be worse. They could always be worse. It could be fucking snowing outside for fuck's sake.
Oh, I love it when it snows.
Don't we all?
I do. Well, it's about the only time I can actually wear shorts and t-shirt and not be fucking clean.
You're as bad as me. There's shorts all the time.
Oh yeah. I remember like sort of over December we'd had not December, sorry, February. We had a snow week here, so all the kids were off school and everything like that. It was -6 degrees outside, and I was in shorts and t-shirt.
That's brilliant. That's amazing, mate.
Amazing.
I can go to work one day. My boss was freaking out because we're getting chicks at the farm, and you can't exactly go on strike, and you can't take if you're needed at the farm as livestock. You need to be looked after. There's no, you know,
you can't just not go into work one day and expect everything to be fine. Yeah,
you know, you need to go in, and he was freaking out because I couldn't get out of the village.
Jesus.
Oh, but the main roads are clear. Aye. What am I meant to do when I get there? How am I meant to get there?
Yeah.
I can't get out my street.
Bloody
Unless
hell.
you expect me to dig for 4 hours, you know.
Yeah.
And I had to dig the car out the day before, and then I just managed to get it out the next day.
Christ.
Yeah, he was freaking out like, and I went in on the day where there was no chickens coming in, so you know, once they're in, it's fine, but it's getting them in when things are going on. But they had a tractor going up and down the main road outside the farm. They paid the farmer like, what was it? They were paying him. It was like £2,000 a day to clear
Bloody
this
hell.
road, and it's only like 2 or 3 miles. And in his tractor, it was taking him 10 minutes a run.
Fuck.
But he was doing that like 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, because it was that heavy.
Yeah, it was just
God.
unbelievable, man.
Wow. Well, I'd actually had a week booked off holiday-wise, just to have a break over when this snow week happened.
Aye.
And it was just shit timing, man, because our boiler broke as well. So I needed my tips that week to be able to give a little bit more money to Steve to try and help pay for the boiler.
Mm-hmm.
So I went into work. Big mistake. Very big mistake. Because a couple of the chefs couldn't get out of the houses, similar sort of situation. Work.
Uh-huh.
And our restaurant is in the middle of the biggest housing estate, private housing estate in
So
in Europe.
everybody was walking in.
Yes. It's the only restaurant in that house.
Oh, wow. Good and bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I walked in, and in the porch area, there was 30 sledges. Kids
30?
everywhere. Like sledges.
Oh, sledges, right.
Yeah. So obviously parents have been pulling the kids on them along, everything like that. It was meant to be a week where the kids were in school, but obviously no teachers could get into schools were closed. So our restaurant was packed. I'd walked in, I get my tips, said hi to the guys in the kitchen, and the head chef said, "Oh, could use your help." Like, so I ended up working the Thursday night and the full Friday.
Is this before you started working in the kitchen?
No, I was already in the kitchen anyway, but I took a week off holiday. So but I'd end up working on 2 of my days holiday.
Well,
It was horrendous. It was so busy. So yeah, I did, but it was I'd only booked it off for time off, so I could get away with that because I was going to lose holidays.
Right, okay, right.
So I could like sort of just enjoy like sort of some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
But it didn't end up like that. And ironically enough, every holiday I've taken since working at least one. So the one before PreachCon, our head chef at the time, on the Saturday night, just tools down, walked out, I'm done.
Oh, remember you tell me about that?
Yeah, left us in the ship, man. Left us in the ship. So I ended up doing worked the Tuesday for cash in hand, so I had more money for PreachCon.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and then the last week I had off. It was my birthday on the Friday, back end of August. I'd obviously been enjoying playing a bit of WoW, and I got a text on the Thursday morning. We're short staffed. Can you work tonight? Yeah, so I ended up working another day on my holidays. So, and I was needed. Each time I've gone in, I've been absolutely spanked.
Well, at least you're not going in and standing with a brush.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times. Oh, we need you to come in. Aye, okay, overtime. Right, grab a brush.
Oh, God.
What? Well, see that, you can go home.
Yeah.
I'll walk about with a brush for 12 hours, not a problem. And then just go and hide somewhere. Get some sleep.
Nice. Yeah, there's no chance of doing that in my place.
No, I know the sounds of it. Well, I used to work at a place called Oceaneering, and their jobs, right, when something's running, it's easy. It's a piece of piss.
Yeah.
And if it breaks down, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe about 10 to 12 people on one job. And if that job breaks down, you've then got 10 to 12 people doing nothing.
Yeah.
So they've got to get the machine up and running as quick as possible.
Right.
But other machines break as well. So they've got to prioritise machines getting fixed. They never actually fix them, they just do patches, and it's a disaster.
Bodge jobs.
But it's good because you get paid for like 12 hours for doing fuck all. It's great. And if they send you home, they still have to pay you.
Yeah.
So, you know, grab a brush. I want you to go and clean this. I want you to go and paint.
Yeah.
Aye, no bother. I'll go and do that, and then you just go and find somewhere to hide and sleep. Not a problem.
Sweet.
Just set your alarm for peacetime.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
You ever nerve raged
Oh, all the time.
all the time?
My job's one big nerd rage, honestly.
Oh wow!
All the time. Oh,
I guess
not as bad as I used to as a kid. There was a couple of snapped PS2 controllers when I was a kid.
Snap! How the hell do you
Oh, yes.
snap one of them? You jump on it?
No. Twist. The twist. So if you twist them, they just fall apart.
I wouldn't know. I've heard of people throwing them and things like that, but never twisting them. Like,
Yeah. Well, obviously, I don't think it'd work now, anyways, because they're a lot more solidly built. But I think I might have had like cheap ones bought for me because
right?
never wealthy with money, so I'd like obviously bought
Yeah,
old ones or something like that.
What
But
was
like,
it called? The third-party peripherals.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think obviously as the joints aren't that like strong, and the twist action just kind of
Yeah, they're
and
not designed to be
it's
twisted.
flying everywhere. Yeah, exactly. So one of the handles went up, one went down, and just oomph, and
Oops.
everything went everywhere. Yeah,
I broke that.
yeah. So that wasn't fun.
That's
Didn't have
brilliant.
my PlayStation.
I was. When was the last time you fell asleep playing a game?
Last night, not last night. Sorry, the night before.
No.
Yeah, man. What was I playing? Oh Jesus, mine's gone blank.
Was it
Something on PlayStation.
PlayStation?
On my PlayStation 4, yeah. I was just sat like sort of in bed after work playing it, and then next thing I know,
Next thing you know, what? Sorry, you cut out.
it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I've woke up and I'm like, my character's dead. I think it was on Minecraft. Yeah.
Oh, all things. Characters did.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh shit.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like, because it takes me so long to wind down after work. I can't sleep for a good couple of hours.
Right. Okay.
So I'm getting in usually around about like 10:30 after shift. So I'll either watch a film or put something on Netflix or watch YouTube. Or play a game. And more often than not, I find myself like dozing off, probably around about 1:30 in the morning. So like I'll miss a couple of episodes or something on Netflix, or like I say, I'll fall asleep with a game on character and I'm dead.
Fair enough.
But it's just wind down time.
Mind, I was in the army, and the weekends, 9 times out of 10, when you're on, you can do your own thing. Last thing Friday, that's you. You go and do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Usually. So, I get told, right, you have to be at the garages on Sunday. What was it? 10 o'clock you have to be there.
Right.
You'll be working for an hour and a half, 2 hours. You'll be away. That'll be it. Just come down, get it done, you go away again. There's 2 guys for each company going. So it's what, 2, 4, 8 people, 9 people if you count the guy in charge, corporal.
Right.
I'm alright, okay, no bother. So, Saturday night, I'm playing Warcraft. As you do. Gets fucking rat-arsed. Passes out, I'm estimating 3, half 3, maybe 6, I don't know.
Right.
Passes out on top of the laptop, which I'm sat at a desk. Wakes up in my bed. So fuck knows how I got there. With someone banging on the door. What the fuck is that? Opens my door. What? You have to get into your uniform and get down to the guard room. What?
Jesus.
You missed your parade. This is like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, you're a fucking, nah, I'm not getting uniform. I'm like, I'm still pushed. I'll get done for being drunk on duty. Nah.
Yeah.
I just went shorts, t-shirt, away I went. Goes down to the guard room. What is that? There's somebody on the phone for you. What the fuck? Grabs it. Hello? Where the fuck were you? Who's this? it's Corporal fucking. He starts going daft. I'm like, oh, I can't, I'm in the shit.
Shit.
So I goes, he's like, come and see me at 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So I hangs the phone up and I goes up to the platoon office at 8 o'clock. By the way, I fucked up. He's like, what was it? I missed my parade at fucking the garages and that. And he wants me to see me at 10 o'clock. He goes, well, you missed your parade, take your punishment, you know. I goes down. I'd been thinking, like, fuck, all Sunday, all the morning of fucking Monday. What excuse can I come up with that's good enough?
Jesus.
My mum's in hospital. I had to go down the road for this. Fucking car broke down. I don't know.
Jesus.
Where the fuck were you? Slept. Got past, slept in. You're an asshole. Come back here at lunchtime. Now, the private who worked with him, this corporal had been giving him this private tight all morning because I never turned up for my parade.
Shit.
This asshole fucking, he comes in here with some lame excuse. I'm going to fuck him over. Fucking. I goes in and told him the truth.
Yeah.
He didn't know what the fuck to do. So he told me to bugger off so he could think of something. So I came back at lunchtime, right, mop the floor. I mopped the floor and that was it. It was like a 5-minute job.
Fantastic. It's always better than you come out. There was one time I obviously turned into work. It was about 11:30. I was meant to be there for 10 o'clock. Similar sort of situation. I just got absolutely and I'd slept through all my alarms. Woke up, was like, oh shit, panic, got ready, still pretty much pissed. Drove down to work. Boss Paul's was like, where the fuck have you been? I was like, I just slept through my alarms. He was like, out last night. I was like, yeah. Just got too drunk. He was like, right, just try not to make it happen again. It's like, fuck. If I'd come out with some shit, fuck, like you said, it's just like, just tell him.
Just telling the truth, man. Yeah. It's like, I was working at Oceaneer and it was through an agency. And I was late one day because, you know, reasons, people sleeping in. Somebody else slept in who was giving me a lift that week because we used to chop and change.
Yeah.
So he slept in. I've left my phone in the car. I had to go back to my house, get my phone him. Yeah. No answer. Gets in my car, drives up to get him. What the fuck? I slept in. Right, okay, I'm late. So I goes down to Oceaneer and he's like, where were you? Sorry, my bad, I was late. Yeah. Why were you late? He goes, doesn't matter. There's no good enough excuse. Right, okay. I'll clock you in. So he clocked me in for the beginning of the shift rather than later on.
Oh, nice.
Because they dock you, if you're late, they'll dock you, is it 15 minutes?
Right.
No, if you're 1 minute late, they'll dock you 15 minutes. That's what it is.
Yeah, it goes to the quarter of an hour.
Aye. So it's a bit shit that way, but it's one of the guys who worked there with the union. He actually made a point to them. He says, right, why don't you say if up to 5 minutes late?
Yeah.
You know, because then people will still rush to get in.
Late. Yeah.
If you're going to get docked at 15
if you're 1 minute
minutes,
late,
slow down.
You might as well be 40 minutes late. Yeah.
I can have my breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man.
Which is, you know, shit happens. But my gaffer up at the firm, he's pretty cool with it. If you're late, just look, I was late this morning, because he might not know.
Yeah.
Look, I was late, sorry, slept in. He's like, that's fine, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And then,
nice.
It's good that way. You ever considered joining the military?
I've never thought about it, no. Like, a couple of mates from school have done it.
Yeah.
But my original plan, was I was going to go into teaching, doing math. I was at uni doing maths, maths and teaching. But obviously ended up dropping out through situations to try. But like I say, as it worked, I just kind of went into this industry, and it's never really crossed my mind to do it.
Okay.
To be honest.
Huh.
But I'm into that old rigmarole now, whereas retrain or change stuff like, because one, I haven't got the time to do it. Because I need to work to get money to be able to pay for something like that. But in order to
Yeah,
when
yeah, I
you've got
know.
it,
You're in
it's
that wee
like a
pickle where
full-on,
you
yeah,
can't do anything because you're working.
catch-22 situation. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you've got to pay to
Yeah,
work,
because a
work to
lot of
pay.
people have, yeah, a lot of people have said to me like, why don't I finish off like my degree and stuff like that? It's just I haven't got the time to do it
Yeah,
because I need the money to be able to get myself like sort of sorted in life so I can then think about doing something like that.
mm-hmm.
But
No, I hear you.
tough situation, very tough.
What if you had to phone somebody right now, or take a trip to your closest one? Who are you going to get pissed with the night?
Well, obviously, housemate we were out with last night, and I think we're out tonight with him. But if it was someone I'd like to do, it'd definitely be down in Cambridge.
All right.
So, I mean, when I was working at the last pub, I was probably working at it was a big rugby pub. A lot of the guys there were like sort of on like the board for a lot of the rugby clubs around the area, and they get like first priority on tickets for like Six Nations and such.
Very
So
nice.
I actually got tickets England, Italy in Rome a few years back. £26 a ticket at the Stadio Olimpico. So I get get 2 tickets. It was only about 3 months after passing my, so I drove down to Cambridge after one of my shifts on a Friday night. Flew out on the Saturday morning with Don over to Rome. I had 5 days in Rome. It was amazing. Took a piss up on the Wednesday night before we left as well.
Oh, I've been pissed in Rome. Like, it's a good night out.
Oh, it's fantastic. We'd found like a little American student bar in the middle of Trastevere.
The Yanks love it.
Yes.
The Yanks like to think they can drink.
Oh yes. We witnessed that preach come.
Aye.
But yeah, so we got all the American student deals because the Italian bartender thought me and Dom were American.
That's amazing.
So we were getting like tequila shots for €1, bottles of Corona for €1.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, but yeah, it's funny when you said about Yanks like to think they can drink.
Yeah.
I was sat talking to a couple of them on the Saturday afternoon after preachcom before I was driving back, and they said it was such a culture shock to them that like sort of just seeing how much like day drinking we've been doing because it's not a culture that they're used to. They obviously like Labour Day, Independence Day and stuff like that.
Yeah,
they have like celebrations, but it's still not like massively heavy. And they said like even some of the frat parties that they'd been to hadn't been as like sort of heavy on the drinking. That's what we did. Yeah, man.
Fucking hell.
But we were just like sort of because it was this nice social atmosphere. It wasn't a stupid party.
No.
And they were like they were really shocked at like sort of the difference in culture because they thought it was kind of the same, and pretty much shocked at how much we'd all been drinking. Which was fantastic. I do remember at one point just before the live show, the bar was that busy that I went up to it, and I'd got 3 pictures. I gave one to Spazzy, and I'd had 2 for myself, one in each hand. And I sat down. And I was like, right, okay. And I think they were gone in about an hour. Yeah, both them pictures were gone within an hour.
That's a good effort, by the way.
Man.
Me and Paul done that the year before. Oh yeah, boy.
Yeah.
I was wrecked.
Man, I was hammered.
I dropped my pint, the glass I got wet, and next to Julie's foot.
Oh.
I got a cut foot. She had like sandals on.
Oh dear
It wasn't
Lord.
too bad, but yeah. Made up for it though.
Aye, man. Yeah. No, it was great. I mean, it was just I can't believe there was like next to 260 people in the one like hammered, and not a single bit of chew was had. There's no trouble, nothing.
Oh no, there's too many nerds for trouble. Like,
well, I mean, regardless, like you were saying before, there's
sorry, you cut out there.
Like you said before, like, if you meet everyone, you wouldn't quite get on with as well as like, the rest of them.
Aye.
There's the same principle, like that amount of alcohol and that many people
you would think.
Usually,
Aye.
usually there's something that goes on, but there was nothing. None of that.
Aye,
And it was just like it was amazing. And then there was penises on heads with kites being played, which was random as fuck.
By the way, I don't know
That
if I started that because it didn't happen last year. You know, I went up, sign my ass, sign my legs. There you go. That'll do it.
Yeah, that was nuts, that man.
That was good fun.
I remember at one point I'd not spoken to him, but Dresdes. Like,
Dresdes.
I hadn't spoken to him at all. Like, it was on the night that came up, hand straight on my ass, and just stood there for a good minute. I just had my pint, nodded over at him, just carried on drinking, and his hand was still there. People were like, "Are you not going to react?" I was like, "Nope."
Nah, I'm good, man. Just go for it. On a wee side note, when I was in the Black Watch in the army,
yeah,
we went to Italy, travelled up through Italy, doing a battlefield tour. First night there, gets hammered, as you do. Now, the place we went to, a place called Anzio, and we drank the place dry of draft beer.
Bloody hell.
And you see all the wee restaurant owners, a guy went up to the middle of this like town square, if you like, in a little van that clearly wasn't big enough, and all the other restaurant owners went out that usually have draft beer.
Yeah.
Gave him their empty ones, and they gave him some money, and then he fucked off. He went over to the next town, come back, and you just seen him rolling the kegs back in, and like a trail of soldiers full in each one. Oh, it was brilliant.
Nice.
And
oh, wow.
We met these French people. At least I think they were French. Yeah, these are from Scotland. Aye, come with me. And we followed them. Took us to this cocktail bar, and he's like, "Try this," and it was absinthe, and they had the absinthe. They put the spoon on it, the sugar cube, and all that, and lit it and everything. Blow it out, down it, and everybody done theirs. I'm looking at them, and the wee French guy, "Whoa, this is amazing!" And I'm like, "All right," bang, down it goes. I'm just looking at the glass, and was that? Yeah, you were a triple one of them with some Jack Daniels in it.
Nice.
Mate, honestly, the glass was full. This was like a whiskey glass. Full.
Wow.
Tries to down it. It gets about 90% of the way through. Pulls it down, and it was like my mouth was on fire. Like a minty fire. Manages the rest of it. Runs over to the balcony. Pretends I'm going to throw my phone over. Drops the phone. Falls down onto some grass. It's like, I'm estimating 30 metres.
Bloody hell.
How did I get down there?
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, you have to go round that way. It was down at a harbour. And
God.
I'm looking for it. Finds the phone. Finds the battery. It's a £300 phone.
Yeah.
And I fucking couldn't find the back for it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, here we go. But it worked, it was fine.
Yeah, yeah.
And I goes
some
up.
gaffer tape over it.
And I can remember sitting on a wall talking to these Italians in like the worst French you've ever heard in your life. How can I fix my phone? I'm probably saying normally do fromage or something, yeah. And then I woke up in my bed the next morning. Again, somebody banging on the door. What the fuck? Wakes up. You meant to be downstairs in 5 minutes.
Oh, shit.
Fuck. Right. Shower, shave, clothes on, 3 minutes.
Jesus.
Walks back out. He says to me, by the way, you've puked on the balcony. Get it cleaned up. Because my roommate. I'm like, oh, fuck. Gets a towel. Cleans it up. Comes back in. Looks at my bed. And there's sick all over my pillow. Oh, no. Wraps the whole lot up in my bed. And the sheets and all that. And it had like a ball with a towel next to it. So the maid can just pick it up and get rid of it. And she did, to be fair. Goes downstairs. The RSM, right? You go from private, corporal, sergeant, all the way up to RSM. After that, you get commission. But the RSM is in charge of discipline. If you've
Right.
done fucked up during the weekend, you're in front of him and he's giving you your fucking, he's feeding you your balls through a straw.
Jeez.
And Jonesy, come here. Oh fuck. All right, sir, how you doing? Do you mind what you done last night? I think so. He's like, can you mind me putting you to your bed? No, I can't mind that. He's like, you were fucking steaming, sat on a wall. And then you had your key card to get in your room, which is number 18, by the way. Aye. You were trying to put it in 17, and then arguing with me that it was the right door. Like, so did I do anything bad? He's like, no, you were fine. you were just pushed. Just watch what you're doing when you're that pushed. Like, all right, you boy.
Wow. Good lord.
Oh, it was what an adventure I had that night. Oh, it was good. Like, oh, it was fucking steaming. But aye.
Last time I got blackout drunk was only a couple of weeks back. Hadn't happened in a long while. We'd actually gone on a staff night out. One of the other restaurants, part of our franchise. And honestly, the food wasn't great. It was horrendous. Bearing in mind, like, they were cooking for other staff within the chain. They didn't put any effort in, so not many of us ate much. It was awful. But we then went to the cocktail bar just down the road from it, where I'd had called Jack Sparrow's, literally a mixture of all the rums and stuff.
That's just screaming get past, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think I'd had about 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, 3 or 4 of them. Bearing in mind, I'd finished my shift, had a pint there, got home, had 3 cans while I shaved my head, got a taxi back straight down where we were meeting up, and I think I'd had 3 pints there, then more at the meal, and then this is at the cocktail bar. I'd had 3 of those Jack Sparrows, got another pint there, then we went off to a night out in a club where we had VIP, so there was, I think there was 6 bottles of vodka, a mixer on the table for us, for 10 of us. 12 of us. So I'd done the usual thing of doing a shot of Coke, vodka mixer. So there was then pretty much like
a shot of Coke.
Yeah, and then a quadruple, like, sort of vodka in the top of it. I got that.
That's a good effort, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think I'd had loads of them. I think by at one point it was just pretty much straight vodka. I was hammered. Like, I fell asleep in the club whilst the music was playing.
Oh, I've done that, like. Oh.
So I'm sat there falling asleep. Baker, one of the managers, wakes us up and goes like, "Oh, John, wake up! You can't be falling asleep." I say, "Oh no, fine. I'm just going to go to the toilet. I'm going to go and sit on the toilet and fall asleep." He's like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "Oh, please, just for 5 minutes."
Just 5 minutes, man. I'll be fine.
And he's like, "No, you can't." And after that point, I don't remember anything. It wasn't until the next day I've been told that I still carried on drinking. Then when we all went outside whilst people were having a smoke, there was a burger van. I could smell it, and apparently it smelled amazing. And apparently I was stood there going, "I'm not hungry, but I really want a burger. They smell amazing, but I'm not hungry." That then proceeded to one of the lasses who were out with pizza shop waiting for a taxi, and she said she saw me sitting in the middle of the road munching on a burger.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I don't remember, like, sort of getting home. I wake up at 20 to 10. I slept through all my alarms again. Woke up at 20 to 10. Yeah. Woke up at 20 to 10, bearing in mind I was supposed to be in work, like, getting in work for 10 o'clock. I was like, oh shit.
It was your own
shit
fault.
show shave later. Quick shit show shave later. Got to work. It was 2 minutes to 10 by the time I got to work, which was quite an impressive feat.
That's a good effort, like.
Yeah. And then all day, head in hands, I was fucked. I was fucked. And it was the bank holiday Monday.
Oh no.
And August. I was on pizzas, and I tell you what, I've never done so many calzones in my life as I'd done on that day. It was nuts. I just got spanked. I was like, it's too much for this.
That was
I'd done 2 batches of dough, which is about 120, 130 doors. Yeah, but that's obviously full size ones. There was a lot of kids.
Aye.
Obviously half size doors. So I must have done like 170, 180 pizzas that day. It was bonkers.
Gee
And I'm
whiz.
just stood there going, I hate my life. I hate my life.
I hate my life. The
It was
problem
hell.
is, you don't sleep when you're like that. You just pass out because
So,
your body's
yeah,
trying to
you
get
don't
rid
get-
of everything.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it was fun times. But yeah, I don't remember anything after like sort of that everyone telling me. I was like, oh Christ, what have I done?
That's brilliant.
I don't understand like that how it happened though, because it was pre-con or heavy drinking for longer, and I was fine. I can remember everything that happened there. But this one night after work, buggered.
Were you mixing your drinks?
Yeah, I was at pre-con as well.
Hmm.
I always do. It's the worst I've been since I was at uni, and that was about 7 years ago now. Nuts.
Just circumstances, I guess, then, eh?
Yeah, probably. Well, I invariably like sort of blame the food because it was, like I say, it was horrible.
Aye.
Mm.
The
First time I'd thrown up on a night out in a long time as well. All that food just came straight back up.
Oh no.
Yeah.
When I was in the army, I went to Switzerland for adventure training skiing.
Mhm.
How that takes you out your comfort zone, I don't know. But there goes each regiment there invited the other regiments round for dinner.
Right.
And this one day we're going to this other regiment, and the first time I've ever introduced myself as Jonah, ever, because the officer says, "Don't be a weirdo." Introduced. All right, my name's Jonah. How are you doing? And leave it at that. I'm like, all right, no bother. Okay, I'm steaming. Hey, I'm not gonna fuck. I'm steaming before I go, and this is like 7 o'clock when I arrive.
Bloody hell.
No, 6 o'clock. Might have been 5.
Impressive.
I can't remember. But goes in. All right, my name's Jonah. How you doing? He's the only person I introduced myself as Jonah. Everybody else was calling me Jonesy, and this guy's calling me Jonah. And I'm just going with it. He's going with it. I think he realised. But we get. I'm sat at. There's like an L-shaped table layout, if you like.
Right.
And somebody comes in with the bowls and they're giving it to the first person, and you're just passing it along to the end. I'm
Yeah.
sitting from the end. No, I'm at the end, sorry.
Right.
And no, I was right the first time. They passed the soup round, so I gives them the soup, and then they passed me the Tabasco. I was like, "This is for the soup." Lid off, put some in this soup. There's a massive bottle of Tabasco, and I put too much in it. Gives them, passes it to the next guy. There you go. Passes the vodka. Is this for the soup? Straight in the vodka. Oh, it's laced. It's laced, man. And I'm drinking this. I'm dipping my roll and everything in it. Oh, dip my bread and everything in the soup. I was fucking steaming. Then they started a game called the Vodka Barman,
Right.
where you get a tray and you fill up 2 glasses. One's got water, one's got vodka.
Right.
So people were coming in with like the little one and a big one. There's a small amount of water in one, there's a large amount of vodka in the other, or
Yeah.
a small amount of vodka and a large amount of water.
Yeah.
So everybody was picking the little one, because no matter what, even if it's vodka, it's only a little drop.
Yeah.
No me. I gets it, right? And I'm like, I actually sniffed the glass and said, I want that one. I took the vodka. And I goes
Nice.
up, fills both glasses. One full with water and one full with vodka. Walks through, gives the guy in question an impossible choice. And he picks the one with the vodka. I'm like, yes. Because as soon as you touched the glass, that was the rule. As soon as you touched it, you drink it.
Yeah.
And he wasn't impressed. Like, I can't even remember. My dad told me the next day, by the way, you phoned your Uncle Jim. What?
Right.
Oh yeah, you phoned your Uncle Jim. You were being sick. I'm like, oh fuck, so I was. I know what I was doing. It was a flashback, eh? You know, one of those moments you know why you done it.
Yeah.
I phoned him to ask him how to stop being sick. And every time I went to ask him, how do I... Oh, it was a mess. But I woke up the next day, no hangover.
Nice.
6:30, ding, wide awake. Like,
They're
no
the
way.
best.
What the fuck? What just happened? Oh, good fun.
I've had a lot of fun on nights out with down and stuff. Like, my dad taught me when I was 8-year-old how to down something fizzy with a bottle of Fanta. So it did, like, yeah, taught me how to open my throat to down something.
Oh, right.
So since then it's been a party trick. When I was at uni, went out with the lads, and it was a kind of like sort of the initiation night. We were handcuffed to each other. So all the rookies were handcuffed to someone who'd been playing for a couple of years or so, and it was a case of like they were
every
going
time
around.
they take a drink, you take a drink.
No, it wasn't that. It was my rookie can do such and such better than yours. So at this point, no one knew who could down a drink. It went up, and then my guy went, but my rookie can down a pint faster than yours. And I just looked at him and went, oh, please don't do this to me. Don't do this. Because I knew as soon as I downed a drink, that's all I'd be getting asked of me.
Yeah.
I was like, right, so it's happening. And I'm stood there with a pint in my hand. This other rookie just like sort of steadily drinking through it. And about 4 seconds into I'm drinking it. I was like, please don't make me do this. He's like, you're going to lose. And you're going to... So, sod it. Threw this down the neck in like about a second. And instantly everyone was like, oh, wow. Right, we can have fun with this. I was like, Christ. But I ended up turning it to my own. Advantage. Because on nights out after that, all that it'd take is one of the guys to say to one of the cheerleaders or something, oh, that guy can down a pint. Get him to do it. As I'm going up to the bar, so I goes up to the bar, gets around him. Someone invariably always comes over and taps me and goes, oh, you can down a drink, go on then, down it. I was like, fuck off. I've just bought these. There's not a chance. I was like, I tell you what, if you want to see me do it, you buy me a drink. So they always would. They'd buy me a drink for me to down it all night.
Brilliant.
I'd buy the first round. Wouldn't have to pay for a drink all night.
That's brilliant. Because I don't really want to see you doing it.
Yep. Yeah. A good party trick. Really good party trick. But yeah, it's I ended up doing it in the kitchen a couple of months back. My cousin was actually working in the kitchen at the time, and he picked up a tub that had jalapenos in. So all the brine and the juice and everything and all the seeds in the bottom.
Yeah.
He put it into a glass and went, I dare anyone to down this. Bet you a tenner you can't do it. So I went, all right, then, I'll do it. He was like, oh, shit. All that I would. I'd down it and he'd have to pay me the tenner. So what did I go do? Downed it in two big gulps. Nearly threw up because of all the seeds at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. And I was like, oh, God, that didn't feel good. He was like, you bastard. You're a tenner now. You could see his face just drop. And like everyone's like, oh, your belly's going to be bad tomorrow. I was like, oh, shit, I didn't even think of that. Next morning, I thought I was going to have like the Indian period type thing. Thankfully, I think it was because I hadn't eaten all day. I had 2 ring sting shits, and that was it. I was fine for the rest of the day.
Well, that makes it fine,
Yeah. I was like, good. Like, I was expecting it to be like bad all day, and it just wiped out the system straight away. I was like, dodged the bullet that time.
I've ate some insane curries, and not once have I had stingy ring. Like, I don't know how, but I think my guts just dissolve everything.
Yeah.
I feel quite privileged that way.
It's absorbed everything. No, I've had a couple.
So,
Not fun.
Future prospects. Final subject.
Sweet.
What's your plans for the future?
Ideally, like I said before, mate, hopefully running a pub or something with the training I've had and stuff like that, and obviously work. If I can get out onto the Isles of Scilly with Don's family and stuff like that, then that's ideally where I'd love to be. It's like a nice little... And just stay there. Make
Aye.
my money, pay there. Be amazing.
Sounds
Other
good,
than
man.
that, probably just move somewhere into a big city and do the same sort of thing if I can.
Oh, my Warcraft restaurant.
Oh, that'd be an idea.
I thought about that, but then you've got to worry about the copyright and.
Yeah, you'd have to.
But when somebody suggested a pop-up restaurant theme, so it's
Yeah,
in a park, you know, bump Warcraft, so like for a week and then you close again.
yeah.
You know,
I mean, they've made it quite easy to do that sort of thing. Releasing the comic book, haven't they?
aye.
So
But
you'd be able to do like sort of not only just the, which would be cool.
in fact, it'd be good to have a theme in your restaurant every now and again.
Yeah, like
You
it's
know, like,
no,
have
I mean,
God of War evening, a Warcraft evening, Call of Duty evening. You know, just
I
daft stuff
suppose
like that.
it's like if you have like a pub restaurant type thing, that's the place to do it. I mean, because when I was in the pub, obviously for Pie Week, we put on specials, all sorts of pies and everything like that.
Aye.
So you're able to do it a lot more. Whereas with a restaurant, you kind of pigeonholed into a certain type of cuisine anyway. Like obviously where I worked in an Italian restaurant, so it's a lot more difficult to do that sort of in a restaurant side of things, unless you're set up to do that.
Yeah.
But pubs are kind of perfect for it because obviously you've got people going in, getting drunk anywhere, so they're a lot more open to that sort of side of things.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Aye, you know, rocking up expecting a meal and then why you dressed like that?
Yeah, yeah.
I see what you mean.
We like when I was working, we'd done a New Year's Eve parties were always themed and stuff like that. So we had like a Mad Hatters party where everyone like your requirement to go to the New Year's party was you had to have a hat of some kind. You didn't have to dress up, but you had to have a hat.
Aye.
So I went out and bought like a proper nice swanky bowler hat, which is amazing. Still got it now. The following year was Harry Potter. So
oh wow.
Me being ginger invariably had to be one of the Weasleys. So I went clean shaven for the first time since I was a 15-year-old since
Clean
I started growing
shaven.
a beard.
Woofed.
Yeah, proper like baby faced.
Yeah, and ingrown hairs as it's coming back.
Yeah, that was hell. That I'd actually went and bought the Weasley twins ones as well, like props. So I went as George Weasley after the battle, after he'd lost his ear. So I had the bandage around my head and everything. A proper sickening to look at waistcoat, a floral print shirt and everything, and his actual. So like I was going quite authentic for it. But that was a fun night.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I remember one Halloween actually dressing up.
That's quality,
behind the bar. Done all the makeup myself, like face paint myself. Walked into work and the boss's wife shit herself. God, fuck. But I'd had a wig and everything. So all the locals who'd already come in, like, sort of started talking to me and asking me questions as if I was a new member of staff. So they're all like sort of thinking, I was like, what are you on about? Like, I know you. We've had this conversation.
Who are you? Where's your beard? I hope you stuck out like a wig. That's
aye. No, they like to say the pubs are perfect for it. Pub restaurants perfect for like sort of themes.
Yeah, well, it's usually local clientele that goes there anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they know what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of them join in and banter and everything like that, which is quite.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll call it there, mate. That's our tours now.
Bloody hell.
That's a good effort.
Indeed it is. Chat shit for ages, me.
Oh, okay, I'm the same. I talk forever, me, like. But I think me and Sarah's one lasted, what, an hour and 15 minutes? And this is our tours now. So, different subjects and all that. Oh, I think WhatsApp just went.
Sweet, isn't it?
But, aye. You've got your at Malarkey 92.
Aye.
So, give them a follow.
I've changed my Twitter. Not my Twitter. My battle swag and my Twitch handles over now to Kratos.
Kratos.
Aye.
Well, if you want that,
So-
just leave a comment on Twitter or you know, I'm
Aye,
sure
man.
I'm sure people will try and add you. It's probably a local
well-
group that's going to be listening to this anyway. So
Yeah.
Hagscast
No,
episode
Sweet,
number
isn't it?
3.
Uh-huh.
2
Awesome.
episodes in one day. Oft. That's a good effort. Like I forgot to do an intro. Oops. Oh, well. I can do that
Okay.
later. But the bit in the middle where you moved, I'll just chop that out and
Yeah.
stick it back together.
Sorry about that, man. Like I say, Steve was
that's
asleep
fine, man.
upstairs, so
Yeah, life's life. You know, I had to do it and all. The wife came in with the bairn. She was doing something.
aye,
So
fair enough.
it happens. You know, life's life, eh? But aye,
Yeah, man.
I had fun. Thanks for your.
Aye, sweet as not.
Thanks for joining me. Hopefully,
no
get you on
problem.
again
It's been a
sometime.
pleasure. Aye,
I'm,
been a pleasure, man.
I'm looking to get 2 people on at some point and have like a 3-way conversation. But I wanted to get the logistics of what's going on first.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you've got to say your piece. I've got to try and not speak area, and it's got to go around in like a wee circle sort of thing. It's I'll see how it goes. But I want to try and get Julie and Spazzy and see if, because I think they would work together, because they'd be
Yeah.
together. You know,
Yeah.
I think that'd be half the
Oh,
battle.
that'd be pretty cool.
Mm.
Yeah, they bounce off each other really well.
Yeah.
Had a moment where, we went to Fazenda's, I think it was, on the Wednesday of PreachCon, and there was me, Spazzy, and Julie sat there both eating and having a, which is pretty
brilliant.
cool. Yeah, had some nice belly pork with honey glaze on. I noticed the glaze in the bottom of the tray. I was like, "Oh, can I have some?" Spoon up my plate. Spazzy picked up straight away. I was like, "Oh, I'll have some." Without even asking the guy, I was like, "Yeah, I can." Next time they brought that one around, the whole table was doing it, getting some of the glaze off. Which was unreal.
Well, I missed all the meals. Like, I was just disappointed in myself.
You'd have loved that place, man. Just a steakhouse, Brazilian, like sort of. You turn your card over if you don't want any more, but mine stayed green all the time. They bring the steaks on a massive skewer, and they just start slicing bits off, and you get a pair of tongs that you just, if you want it, tongs are on it. It's yours.
Aye.
Oh, lovely.
That's brilliant. Well,
Man.
thanks very
Right.
much.
No problem. No problem at all, man.
Aye. Have fun.
Right.
Love you and
You
leave
too.
you, eh? Oh, we'll say goodbye on the podcast and we'll see you all.
Aye, man.
Bye-bye.
See you later, guys. Bye.